Close your eyes. Take a breath. Hold it for a moment. Now let it go. Feel that? That's proof. Proof that you're still here. Proof that something in you refuses to give up, even on the days you feel like you've already lost. You didn't stumble upon this by chance. This isn't some random moment in the never-ending stream of distractions that pull at your mind, making you forget what really matters. Found you for a reason, and if you keep listening, you'll understand why. And to stay the same. Maybe you don't recognize yourself anymore. Maybe you wake up every morning, feeling like a stranger in your own life, going through motions that feel less like choices and more like obligations. Maybe the things that once made your heart race now feel distant, like echoes of someone you used to be. And maybe, just maybe, you've convinced yourself that this is it, that you are a finished story, that the best parts of you have already been written. But listen to me. You are not a story that has ended. You are not meant to remain unchanged. There is something inside you, restless and wild, something clawing at the edges of your soul, whispering, move, change, become. And I know it's terrifying to let go of the version of yourself you've always known. I know it's safer to stay in the comfort of predictability, even when it feels like it's suffocating you. But what if I told you that you are allowed to outgrow the life that no longer fits you? That you are meant to evolve? That becoming someone new doesn't mean you've lost who you were, but that you finally found who you were always meant to be? Because you were never supposed to stay the same. You were meant to break, to rebuild, to rise again and again, until you become something unshakable. And that is why this found you today. Because deep down, you already know it's time to change. The pain that led you here. Pain is a strange thing. It arrives without warning, carves itself into your bones, makes a home in the quiet spaces of your soul. It twists itself around your heart, convinces you that you are too broken to heal, too damaged to be whole again. And sometimes, pain tricks you into believing that it is all you will ever know. But pain is not your enemy. It is a guide. It is the fire that burns away everything that is not meant for you. It is the force that strips you down to your most raw, most honest, most real self. You think you are weak because you are hurting. But the truth is that you are strong because you have survived. Because you have walked through the storm and you are still standing. Because despite everything, you are still here, still fighting, still hoping for something more. And that is why you are reading this right now. Because you need to know your pain was not for nothing. It led you here. And here is where you begin again. Fear wants to own. You don't let it. Fear is clever. It doesn't come screaming. It doesn't come with flashing lights or sirens blaring warnings of danger. Fear comes quietly. It wraps itself around your dreams, whispering all the ways you might fail. It tugs at your heart, reminding you of all the times you've been hurt, all the ways you've been let down. Who is nothing at all, and that's exactly what it wants. Because fear is a thief. It steals your chances before you even take them. It keeps you trapped inside the illusion of safety while the world moves on without you. But listen to me. Fear is not real. It is a shadow, a whisper, a ghost of things that never even happened. And you are stronger than the things that haunt you. So don't let fear own you. Not today. Not ever. To decide, you are standing at a crossroads. Maybe you didn't even realize it until now, but you are. And in front of you there are two paths. One where you continue as you are, where you keep living the same days, the same patterns, the same story you've been telling yourself for years. And another one that is uncertain, unfamiliar, unknown, one that asks you to be brave, one that demands you to become more than you ever believed possible, one that holds everything you've ever wanted. But here's the thing, no one can choose for you. No one is coming to save you, to tell you when it's time, to pull you by the hand and lead you toward your dreams. Will you stay where it's safe, or will you step forward into the life that is still waiting for you? The choice is yours. But just know this, found you for a reason, and that reason, it was never to leave you the same. That reason, it was never to leave you the same. It was never to let you settle for less than what you were meant to become. It was never to let you keep hiding behind fear, behind doubt, behind the stories you've told yourself about why you can't, why you shouldn't, why it's too late. Because it isn't too late. It never was. It never will be. You are standing at the threshold of something greater, something vast, something only you can step into. And no, I won't pretend it will be easy. I won't lie to you and tell you there won't be moments where you question everything, where you want to turn back, where the weight of change feels unbearable. But what I will tell you is this, it will be worth it. Because on the other side of this fear is you, the version of you that is no longer waiting for permission, the version of you that has decided to rise, despite the odds, despite the voices that told you to stay small, the version of you that finally understands everything, every heartbreak, every setback, every moment that made you question your worth. It all brought you here. And here is where everything changes. Let go of who you thought you had to be. You were taught to fit into a mold, weren't you? To follow the rules, to be who they expected, to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You were told to silence your dreams, to settle for what was reasonable, to trade passion for practicality. And you did, because you thought you had to, because you thought that was the only way to be enough, to be loved, to be accepted. But what if I told you of who you should be? What if I told you that you were meant to break the mold? That the fire inside you, the one they tried to smother, was meant to burn? That the voice inside you, the one you've silenced for too long, was meant to scream? You don't have to be who they told you to be. You don't have to stay small just because someone else is afraid of how big you could become. You don't have to live a life that doesn't feel like your own. This is your permission to let go, to stop carrying the weight of expectations that were never yours to begin with, to unbecome everything they told you to be, so you can finally become who you were always meant to be. This is your wake-up call. Maybe no one has ever told you this before, but listen closely. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to walk away from anything that makes you feel like you are suffocating. You don't need a sign. You don't need approval. You don't need to wait for the right time, the perfect conditions, the moment when everything suddenly makes sense. This is your moment. This is your wake-up call. This is the universe reaching out, shaking you by the shoulders, telling you to stop waiting, to begin. Not tomorrow, not next year, not someday. Now. You are ready even if you don't feel like it. Maybe you think you're not ready, that you need more time, that you need more confidence, more clarity, more signs that this is the right path. But let me tell you something. No one ever feels ready. No one ever reaches a moment where the fear disappears completely, where the doubts vanish, where everything is suddenly easy. People don't succeed because they were fearless. They succeed because they move forward despite the fear, because they chose to take the first step before they felt ready, because they understood that waiting for the perfect moment was just another way to avoid stepping into their power. And you are ready, right now, even with the fear. even with the doubt, even with the scars that tell you it didn't work last time, because this time is different. Keep living like this. This time, you know you can't keep ignoring the voice inside you that keeps whispering, there's more for you than this. This time, you aren't waiting for permission. This time, you choose yourself. So what happens next? That's the question, isn't it? What happens now? What do you do with everything you've just read, everything you've just felt? You could close this and go back to your life exactly as it was. You could ignore the pull in your chest, the fire starting to flicker inside you. You could pretend you never saw this, never felt this, never realized that something inside you is begging for change. Or you could decide. You could decide that this was meant for you, that you are done waiting. You could decide that your dreams, your future, your life are worth fighting for. Because at the end of the day, no one else can do it for you. No one else can live your life. No one else can step into your power. No one else can take this moment and turn it into a beginning. Only you. So what will it be? Will you keep waiting? Or will you finally take the first step toward everything you were meant to become? Because this found you for a reason. And that reason is you. The choice is yours. Right now, in this very moment, you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads you back to everything you've known. The same routines, the same struggles, the same version of yourself that has been aching for more, but afraid to reach for it. The other path, it's uncertain, it's terrifying, it's filled with unknown, but it's yours. It's the path where you stop betraying yourself, where you stop dimming your light just so others don't feel uncomfortable around you, where you stop making excuses for why you can't and start finding reasons why you must. It's the path where you finally understand that nothing changes unless you do. And I know it's easier to go back. It's easier to stay comfortable, to keep doing what you've always done, to convince yourself that someday will come. But tell me, how many times have you said someday? How many times have you looked at your reflection and felt the weight of everything you could be pressing against your chest, begging you to take a chance? How many times have you let fear win? No one is coming to save you. That's the truth no one wants to hear. No one is coming. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you dream of. No one is going to lift you out of your pain and place you in the version of your life where everything feels right. No one is going to make the decision for you. It's you. It has always been you. You are the one who has to rise. You are the one who has to say, enough. You are the one who has to fight for the life you know you were meant to live. And maybe that sounds exhausting. Maybe you wish someone would come and tell you exactly what to do, give you a roadmap, promise you that everything will work out. But that's not how this works. This is the moment where you stop waiting to be saved and start saving yourself. Because if you don't, no one else will. The pain of staying the same versus the pain of change. Here's the thing, change is painful. There's no way around it. Letting go of the past, stepping into the unknown, choosing to become something more, it's hard. But do you know what's even more painful? Staying the same. Waking up every day knowing you're meant for more but doing nothing about it. Seeing your potential in glimpses but never fully reaching for it. Looking back years from now and realizing that fear held you hostage in a life that never truly felt like yours. That pain, it's worse, because at least when you choose change, when you choose growth, when you choose to take the risk, there's hope. Hope that the struggle will be worth it. Hope that on the other side of the fear is the life you've been craving. Hope that you are capable of becoming the person you were always meant to be. So yes, it will hurt. Yes, It will challenge you. Yes, you will have moments where you want to quit, but at least you will be moving. At least you will be fighting for something real. At least you will know that you didn't spend your life waiting for a moment that never came. Because the moment, it's now. Who do you want to be? Forget what everyone else expects. Forget the version of you that's been shaped by fear, by failure, by what the world told you was possible. Who do you want to be? Not in 10 years, not in 5, not even next year. Now, because that person, they don't just appear someday. They are built, choice by choice, step by step, day by day. So what are you choosing today? That this was the moment you stopped making excuses. That this was the moment you realized you were stronger than your fear. That this was the moment you became the person you were meant to be. Because this found you for a reason. And now, the choice is yours.